y'all. This is Christine Deane, your DFW Networking Diva, connecting you to who you want to know and all the resources and everything in the entrepreneurial space, my nonprofits, those that are doing good in the world. If you like to do good in the world, I want to talk to you. And today we are talking to somebody who is helping other people do good in the world. I'm excited to introduce you to Michael Lang. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm ready to have some fun. Let's talk, because when I found out what you did, I was like, oh, we got to tell people about this, right? So you are in this nonprofit help space, and I love nonprofits. You know that. That's where my heart is helping nonprofits and coaches and those that are doing good. So you've got a software that helps nonprofits. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we help people with fundraising, nonprofits.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about it, because I don't think we need to let people know that this software is available. Like, how much does it cost?
Well, it actually doesn't cost a nonprofit anything. So
It's free for nonprofits. So you got a free resource for nonprofits. Yeah, I think they need to hear about this. So talk to us a little bit. You said it's Civic Dawn.
that's correct. Yeah, Civic Dawn. It is essentially a free add-on to Stripe. You know, a lot of people use Stripe for their payment processing, but you know, you got to pay a lot of credit card fees with Stripe. You know, you're losing 3% of your revenue approximately with Stripe. So you know, we found a solution around that. And so we set it up so that, you know, there's an onboarding process. It's quick and easy. You know, there's no charge, you know, set up either. And once you're set up and you've got your fundraising going through and somebody leaves a donation, you know, they prompt with, you know, how much do you want to donate? You know, $10, 50, 100, whatever. And then when they pick their amount, they're prompted, would you like to, you know, help a nonprofit save on fees, you know, and cover their processing fees. And about 90 to 95% of people are just going to leave that checked and say, well, sure, I'll, you know, add an extra buck for processing. It's fine. People are used to paying those kind of fees when they, you know, pay at the DMV too, you know, to pay for their processing fees. So it seems pretty typical and normal at this point. Um, and then, so you might be wondering, well, how are we doing this for free? You know, the reason we can do that is because we're also saying, could you help this free fundraising service, you know, stay in business, you know, by leaving them a tip too. And so it just leaves it up to that donor. Would you like to leave us a tip too? How much they want to leave? And you know, they just hit confirm and enter their card details. So they've already decided how much they want to donate, whether it's 10 or 50 or whatever. And then we say, okay, would you like to cover this extra stuff? And 90 to 95% of people are going to go ahead and say yeah to that. So
Oh, well, that's nice. Okay, so then the nonprofits aren't having to take the processing fees out of their donation, so they actually get to put more money into their nonprofit to go towards their cause.
right.
Nice.
So in reality, instead of the $10 donation, they're going to get you know, $10.61. But then, you know, as the donation, you know, technically coming in, but 10 of it actually goes to their bank account. So before they would have got $9 and, you know, 40
Mhm.
cents, 50 cents, and now they're going to get the full 10.
They
So
get
they
the
will get
full
money.
amount.
But yeah, I mean, they still technically are paying processing fees, but they're getting a slightly higher donation to cover that cost of the fees.
Nice. Okay, so if we're doing that, and you said it attaches to Stripe
Yes.
specifically, well, I know, for example, I use Go High Level for a lot of my businesses, and so I'm always setting clients up on that. So if it works with Stripe, and Stripe is with Go High Level, so if they have Go High Level, then that's all should play together nicely, then, right?
I guess it could, yeah. I haven't tried a level myself, but yeah. So technically, when they set up their account, it does have them create like an additional Stripe account, because the Stripe account that they set up with us, you know, if there's account issues or whatever, we can log into their dashboard and help them research stuff. But we can only see transactions they've done through Civic Dawn, not through any other fundraising source. So when they would log into Stripe, they would see like two selectors. Do you want to see your Civic Dawn donations or whatever other account you already had? So, and maybe, you know, the other app, they can connect to both, maybe. So that's a possibility.
That'd be fun to go in and explore. You just never know how it works, right? But I mean, I think anything that helps put more money towards the cause is always a wonderful way to. But you have more than just that, don't you?
Well, we do have more features than just, you know, giving a donation. Yes, we've got quite a few. We're, you know, we're always going to be trying to add new ways to help the nonprofit and add some more tools. And we're we're not charging for those, because really, if we help the nonprofit out more, they're going to make more in donations, and in turn, we're probably going to raise more in tips as well. So it's all in our interest to help the nonprofit do a lot better, because that's the only way we can succeed, is by helping the nonprofit succeed. Uh, so some of those some of those features would be like, we've got event ticketing, so you can set up an event and you can have multiple price levels for that event. Maybe you got a free online one, but then you got like an in-person dinner one. Or like, oh, if you pay $200, you get to meet this like famous person while you're at the event too, and only the people that pay more get to see that person. Um, so we got that event ticketing with different levels. That just follows the normal donation flow after they pick their ticket level. And then we've also got an option for designing your pages. So you can do all of your website design and hosting through Civic Dawn as well. All the typical stuff you'd see in a website builder, like Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, et cetera, all those kind of drag and drop and, click to edit type stuff. We have all those kind of design features for our page tools as well.
So you're saying they can actually host their website with you also?
That's correct. As long as it's designed with our tools. But, if you give us what your website looks like now, we can probably make, your Civic Dawn site look very similar to that.
Oh, wow, that's exciting. So you can help with the payment side of it, have landing pages, do events. So those are great resources for nonprofits. I love it. Now, I'm curious, how did you end up getting in this space? How did you end up getting involved with the nonprofits and helping them?
Well, it was just kind of by accident, really. I also have another business that's called Nexel Academy. It's a teaching business. I teach people how to learn to code if they want to get into that for their job. And people needed a way to get a job after that, and a lot of jobs require a year of experience, even for the most junior entry level position in our field. And so I needed something for them to work on to like give them practical experience. And so I just came up with ideas, and it was politics season at the time, and so there are a lot of political organizations trying to raise money, and so I thought of a way to just help in that space. And at the beginning, it was just kind of a hobby way to help the developers give them something to work on. And after I talked to a couple of nonprofits, they're like, "Yeah, we could really use this, like for real." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, how about I just actually make it a real product and host it up there, and scale it up so it can be high volume and work really well." So it kind of evolved from that point.
Wow, because I can think there's a lot of nonprofits that would love to have a space so that they didn't have to worry about the hosting and what they just buy their domain and run with it. Is that kind of
Right. I mean, they still pay for their domain at GoDaddy or whatever they use, so they're $10 a year or whatever it is, maybe 19 a year sometimes with GoDaddy. But that's a one-time a year fee there, and then they just point that domain at their Civic Dawn site.
Oh, wow. So, wow, that's great. What a wonderful resource, right? Because I know a lot of times I always tell nonprofits, and I work with a lot of nonprofits. I serve on the board of advisors for the Veterans Ranch. I've served for several years on the board of directors for the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce. So I'm familiar with the boards. And a lot of times I'll give people advice when they start their board. And one of the things I always say is make sure you have somebody for marketing. Make sure you have somebody who can design your website. Make sure, right? So that space, so that takes one of the stressors off. If you've got a nice, easy building platform for them to be able to build that website, you've just taken one of the major stressors off of the organization, because that's in my top 5 things I always tell them to do. So I love that. That's awesome. Very generous of you to put that together, I guess, with your coding experience. And then now you're giving other people experience. What a wonderful way to give back to the community. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say one of the biggest kind of drawbacks, or not drawbacks, but pushbacks we get is like, "Oh, I'm too busy to like do all that stuff. I don't want to change over from what I got." But we've got an easy solution to that. Is we've got an account manager that is assigned to each nonprofit, so that whatever you need to do, we'll just help you do it. So we help right along that process, so that it's not a big hassle to get set up.
Right. I was just thinking with all the brand new startups, I'm in the DFW area of Texas, and we've got over 400 nonprofits in the area that just are related to veteran issues. Right. So there's always another organization that needs help. So my goodness, I think you're going to be the go-to resource for that. So let's put put it out there in the universe right now. We're going to say, hey, if you know somebody that's starting up a nonprofit and is maybe needing a little bit of help with their web design, right, and a place to host that,
Right.
sounds like a great resource is go talk to Michael, right? We're going to send him to the website. We should tell them again where to go.
Yeah, it's at civicdawn.org, and that's, civic and dawn, the typical spellings. And that's just go right to that site. And there's also a -4-orgs site that talks about specifically the nonprofit features. Because our main landing page is kind of do motivated towards donors and volunteers to like get them involved in donating. So we help direct people to nonprofits as well. So that's about it.
So you help direct people to nonprofits. Do you have a nonprofit directory? Is that
That's true. Yeah, a donor can come to the page and say, "Yeah, let me take a little survey to see what kind of areas I'm interested in," and we'll show them what kind of nonprofits match their interests, and or they could just go right to the search page and search for nonprofits either in their county or their state or even more local than that, and just see exactly what nonprofits are there.
it really is a nonprofit resource place. I love it. That's so awesome. Well, so we're going to send people your way because I'm sure there's a lot of nonprofits. They've got a good cause, and sometimes they just need help with the techie side of things, right? Maybe they need some resources. So, what a great resources. So, I'm going to encourage everybody to tag somebody right now who has a nonprofit and probably needs access to these resources that Michael has available. Take advantage of it, right? Go in there and see what he's got that might give you a hand if you need a place to host, right? It looks like a great place to put your website for your nonprofit, in addition to all the other wonderful resources he has available. So we're going to say one more time, go hang out at that whole
Civic
www dot
Dawn.org.
yep, civicdawn.org, and go check that out. I think it's going to be a great resource. I will continue to share that. So tag your nonprofits and those that that are thinking about starting a nonprofit, and let's get them started on the right foot. Thank you so much, Michael, for coming to play today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll have you back on again as you put new features in there, because I have a feeling if you have that coding background and experience that you're going to end up putting all sorts of fun stuff in there. So we'll have you back again. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Michael. Well, that goes another episode of DFW Networking Diva, Christine Deane, connecting you with who you want to know. So come get connected with me. If you know another resource that you think should be shared with the masses and all our followers and everybody needs to know about, that's related to nonprofits, related to anything that is helpful to entrepreneurs. This is our space, our small businesses. Come let me know about those resources so we can make sure that everybody else gets to know about them too. So y'all have a fantastic day, and we will talk to you soon.